When someone says bear, most people picture a grizzly or a polar bear. But there isn't just one kind of bear. There are 8 different bear species living on our planet today, and some of them look so unusual that you might not even recognize them as bears. One lives high in the Andes Mountains and climbs trees. Another survives almost entirely on bamboo. And one of them is smaller than many dogs. Today, we're traveling around the world to meet every species of bear. Where they live, what makes them unique, and some incredible facts you probably haven't heard before. Let's start with the bear most people know best. Brown bear. The brown bear is the most widespread bear species on Earth. You'll find it across North America, Europe, and Asia. It comes in many forms, including the famous grizzly bear in North America and the enormous Kodiak bear in Alaska. A large male can weigh more than 1,300 pounds, and despite their size, brown bears can run at speeds of around 35 miles per hour. What's fascinating is how adaptable they are. Some populations spend their lives catching salmon in rivers, while others live in dry mountain regions and eat mostly plants and berries. Brown bears have adapted to a huge variety of habitats and diets, making populations across the world remarkably different. American black bear. Despite the name, the American black bear isn't always black. Some are brown, cinnamon-colored, and a few are even almost white. They're the most common bear in North America and can be found from Canada all the way to Mexico. Black bears are excellent climbers. Young black bears often escape danger by running up trees, while adult grizzlies are generally much less agile in trees. They're also incredibly intelligent. Researchers have found that black bears can remember food locations for years and solve complex problems surprisingly quickly. Polar bear. The polar bear is the largest land predator on Earth. Adult males can weigh more than 1,500 pounds. Unlike most other bears, polar bears are true carnivores. Their lives revolve around hunting seals on Arctic sea ice. They have black skin beneath their white fur and an incredible sense of smell. A polar bear can detect a seal hidden under snow from more than half a mile away. And here's something most people don't know. Polar bears are actually classified as marine mammals because they spend so much of their lives on sea ice and in the ocean. They're also incredibly strong swimmers and have been recorded swimming for more than 430 miles without stopping. Asian black bear. The Asian black bear, also called the moon bear, gets its nickname from the white crescent-shaped mark on its chest. These bears live across much of Asia, from Iran to Japan. Compared to brown bears, they're smaller, but they're excellent climbers and spend a lot of time in trees. In some regions, they build platforms and branches where they sit and eat fruit. Imagine a giant bear making its own treehouse. They're also among the most vocal bear species and communicate with an impressive range of sounds. Giant panda. Probably the most famous bear in the world. The giant panda lives only in the mountains of central China. Even though pandas belong to the bear family, their diet is incredibly unusual. Around 99% of what they eat is bamboo. To help with this lifestyle, they evolved a special wrist bone that acts almost like an extra thumb, allowing them to grip bamboo stalks. A panda can spend up to 14 hours a day eating. That's because bamboo contains very little nutrition, so they need to eat enormous amounts just to survive. Sloth bear. At first glance, the sloth bear doesn't even look like a bear. It has long, shaggy fur, a pale snout, and oddly shaped lips. That's because it specializes in eating insects. Sloth bears can suck termites and ants out of their nests so loudly that the sound can be heard from surprisingly long distances. They live mainly in India and Sri Lanka. When sloth bear cubs are small, they ride on their mother's back, a behavior rarely seen in other bear species. It's one of the cutest sights in the bear world. Sun bear. The sun bear is the smallest bear species on Earth. Some adults weigh as little as 55 pounds. They live in the tropical forests of Southeast Asia and are instantly recognizable by the orange patch on their chest. Sun bears have the longest tongue of any bear, up to 10 inches long. That's almost the length of a school ruler. They use it to pull insects and honey out of tree cavities. Because they spend much of their time in dense rainforest, they're also among the least known and least studied bears in the world. Spectacled bear. The final species is also one of the most mysterious. The spectacled bear, also known as the Andean bear, is the only bear species native to South America. Its name comes from the pale markings around its eyes, which often resemble a pair of glasses. Just like human fingerprints, every spectacled bear has its own unique facial pattern. Unlike most other bears, its diet is made up mostly of plants. Fruits, bromeliads, palm hearts, and cacti make up the majority of its menu, although it will occasionally eat insects or small animals. They're excellent climbers and often build feeding platforms high in trees where they rest while eating. Shy and rarely seen in the wild, spectacled bears are often called the ghosts of the Andean forests. So, those are the 8 bear species that still roam our planet today. From the giant polar bear of the Arctic to the tiny sun bear hiding in tropical rainforests, every species has evolved in its own unique way. And that's what makes bears so fascinating. They aren't just big, powerful animals. They're climbers, swimmers, insect hunters, bamboo specialists, and survivors of some of the harshest environments on Earth. Which species surprised you the most? The treehouse-building moon bear, the panda with a fake thumb, or the tiny sun bear with the giant tongue? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy learning about wildlife and the incredible animals that share our planet, don't forget to subscribe, because nature always has another surprise waiting.